Hello delegates, my name is Cindy and I am one of the co-directors of Procedures and Training for NAMUN 2021. In this video, I'll be going over the NAMUN Rules and Procedures Guide 2021 that was created by my other co-director, Tomer Zedman, and I. NAMUN's rules and procedures are different to NAMUN or other conventional rules, so in cases of disagreement, NAMUN's ROP will be referred to. I will first be going over Decorum and Conduct, which can be found under Section 4.0 of the NAMUN Rules and Procedures Guide 2021. All delegates and dais staff should address the committee in proper diplomatic decorum and will refer to other delegates in the third person. Cross-debating is not permitted. NAMUN's 2021 dress code is Western business dress in conference conduct. Delegates are permitted to wear lapel pins of the flags of United Nations member states, but please do be aware that the wearing or displaying of any national flags on any piece of attire or material is forbidden, as well as costumes or cultural dresses, however respectful. Once the moderator has found there to be decorum within the committee, roll call shall begin. Delegates are able to identify themselves as present or present and voting. A reminder that if a delegate states that they are present, they are able to abstain from voting on substantive matters, whereas those who identify themselves as present and voting are unable to do so. All delegates must vote on procedural matters. For those delegates who have arrived late, please send a message to your dais stating whether you are present or present and voting. Once roll call is completed, quorum will be set, which requires 1/3 of delegates to be present for any substantive decision to be made. Because NAMUN 2021 is being run completely online, General Assemblies, crisis committees, and specialized agencies will all be following a default rolling moderated caucus. The length of the caucus is indefinite and the default speaking time is determined by the dais. This means the General Assembly no longer has primary and secondary speakers list, and although they are included in the original ROP, the addendum voids it. However, setting the agenda remains the same. In General Assemblies, once the dais believes that there has been enough discussion in the committee, delegates are able to motion to set the agenda and vote on it. If the vote passes by a simple majority, the agenda has been set. The defeat of a motion to set the agenda to a given topic automatically reverts to the second topic. There are 3 types of caucuses: moderated, unmoderated, and round-robin discussions. However, round-robin discussions only apply to crisis and specialized committees. A moderated caucus is a formal forum where delegates can discuss subtopics within a larger topic. When motioning, delegates must specify the proposed speaking time, duration of the caucus, and subtopic that pertains to the committee agenda. This motion requires a simple majority to pass. A motion for an unmoderated caucus requires delegates to only specify the duration of the caucus with a limit of up to 15 minutes. This motion also requires a simple majority, but the moderator may reject this motion if they believe there is a lack of debate. During the unmod, delegates will be allowed to join breakout rooms on Zoom. For more information on that, please watch our Zoom instructional video. A round-robin discussion only applies to crisis committees and specialized agencies. This motion requires the delegate who proposes the motion to give a speaking time and topic they want each delegate to discuss. Delegates are allowed to pass their turn if they do not wish to speak. This also requires a simple majority to pass. Private directives are only applicable to crisis committees and specialized agencies. For more information on this, please watch the MUNkey instructional video. General Assemblies, crisis committees, and specialized agencies require a minimum of 2 sponsors and also a minimum number of signatories, in which the total number of sponsors and signatories equals or exceeds 1/4 of delegates present in their draft resolutions and committee directives. The difference between sponsors and signatories is that sponsors are obligated to vote in favor of the draft unless an unfriendly amendment is passed, while a signatory does not have to vote in favor of the resolution. Once sponsors believe their resolutions are completed, they may motion to introduce it, which requires a simple majority to pass. The sponsors will then be called to read it out to the committee. Once they are done, an automatic question and answer period will follow. The number of questions allowed and speaking time will be up to the moderator's discretion. Once a sponsor begins to answer a question, no other sponsor shall interject or expand their ideas. Once an amendment has been submitted, delegates may motion to introduce an amendment, which will require a simple majority to pass. If it passes, the dais will read out the amendment, in which the sponsors of the proposed working paper, draft resolution, or committee directives can choose to deem it friendly or unfriendly. If all the sponsors approve of the amendment, it is friendly and is automatically attached, not requiring the amendment to be voted on during voting procedure. If at least one of the sponsors do not approve of the amendment is unfriendly and will require a 2/3 majority during voting procedure to be attached to the resolution or directive. To enter voting, delegates must vote to enter into the voting procedure, which requires 2/3 majority. If delegates would like to vote by a different method than the standard raise hand function on Zoom, they need to specify it while motioning to enter the voting procedure. If this motion passes, the committee is no longer allowed to debate on any resolutions or amendments that were not originally attached to the resolution or directive. Also, delegates will not be allowed to pass notes. Delegates can then motion to vote on a specific resolution, which only requires a simple majority to pass. There are different types of voting: standard voting, roll call votes, voting with rights of explanation, clause-by-clause voting, division of the question by grouping, voting with speakers for and against, and important questions. Because NAMUN 2021 is online, placard voting will be replaced by voting yes with the green yes button or no with the red no button on Zoom. For more information, please refer to the Zoom instructional video. Roll call votes will require the moderator to call on every delegate in alphabetical order. Once called upon, delegates will have to state whether they are in favor, opposed, or abstain. Voting with rights of explanation may be motioned if there is a roll call vote in order. Delegates voting opposed or abstained will have to explain their vote. Clause-by-clause voting allows delegates to vote on the operative clauses of the draft resolution or amendment individually. If all of the operative clauses of a resolution are rejected, the draft resolution will be defeated as a whole. Voting with speakers for and against allows delegates to motion to vote up with 2 speakers for and 2 speakers against. The delegate who proposed the motion may indicate whether they would like to speak for or against the directive. Division of the question by grouping only applies to General Assemblies where a delegate can motion to vote on the operative clauses of the draft resolution or amendment in designated groupings. If the motion passes, the clauses will be voted in 2 or more separate groups. Again, if all groupings are rejected, the draft resolution is considered defeated as a whole. Finally, we have important questions, which are also applicable to only General Assemblies. This can only be invoked in matters pertaining to the maintenance of international peace and security and requires a 2/3 majority to pass. To motion for a resolution considered as an important question is debatable, and under the moderator's discretion, they may entertain 1 speaker for and 1 speaker against. If this motion passes, the draft resolution will require a 2/3 majority to pass. A reminder that the moderator does have discretion when determining whether these types of voting can be entertained. NAMUN 2021 also includes certain parliamentary points and yields. With parliamentary points under Section 11, there are the point of order, point of personal privilege, point of parliamentary inquiry, the right of reply, and point of inquiry. We will first go over the points that may interrupt a speaker. Point of order is used to note an improper application of the rules and procedures. Point of personal privilege is commonly used to address a concern over the environment, such as the inaudibility of a speaker. The following are points that may not interrupt a speaker. Point of parliamentary inquiry allows for a delegate to inquire about the correct parliamentary procedure. Point of inquiry occurs when the delegate has a question for the dais regarding the academic content of the committee. Furthermore, the right of reply cannot interrupt a speaker and is used when a delegate feels that their personal or national integrity has been insulted or misinterpreted. There are 3 main yields found under Section 10. The default yield is yielding to the chair or moderator once a delegate is done speaking. Delegates can also yield to another delegate depending if there is still remaining speaking time. The delegate who has been yielded to can choose to accept or decline, but they may not yield to another delegate. Moreover, a delegate may yield to questions from other delegates if time permits. To find a list of the order of disruptiveness, please check Section A of the Rules and Procedures Guide. And this is a basic rundown of the NAMUN 2021 Rules and Procedures Guide, which can be found on our website, namun.org. I would highly recommend you still read over the Rules and Procedures Guide in your own time in order to have a successful experience as a delegate. If you have any questions about anything you saw in this video, feel free to reach out to us using one of the email addresses found on our website. Also look for our other videos explaining the use of Zoom and MUNkey, our text-based software, at NAMUN 2021. We look forward to seeing you all at the conference February 18th to the 20th, 2021. See you soon and good luck.